Hey guys, welcome back. We have this is not the intended video today. This is not the planned video for today, but we have a little bit of an urgent notice with Ace grading being broken into. We have some submissions. It sounds like many submissions that have been stolen from the grading facility, and we're going to take a look at that. This is a more than anything else reminder. Guys, be extra careful. The holiday season, the Pokemon boom that we're in currently, you got to be careful. Whether you're a business, whether you're a card store, grading company, even if it's your own home, make sure that you are well protected. Put more security measures in place than you think are necessary. At least it can help prevent what's going on here. And this is a sad story. I don't like to see this for anyone. Customers' submissions that were stolen. Now, Randolph has made a video. He put out a video an hour ago. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link to that down below in the description. But you're going to want to watch that if you have been impacted. Sounds like they're going to make everything right, or they're going to do their best to make everything right for the customer. It's a huge hit. That's a huge hit to a company. Now, when you're running a company, whether it's consignment, whether it's grading or anything like that, you have to be careful because things can get lost. Anytime there's hands, more middleman, the more shipping companies, the more times things are moving and exchanging hands, the bigger the chances are that something gets lost. Now, you can expect, hey, a package is going to get lost every now and then. A package is going to get stolen every now and then. You might have an employee. I think he says in the video that they have 24 employees. You might have an employee that steals from you. You might not be able to get those cards back. You might have to make it right for the customer. Now, when a bunch of it's stolen all at once, that is a whole different deal. That is a whole different scenario, and hopefully they can work their way through it. I'm not a graded card fan by any means. I don't think there's anything wrong with being one. If you want to grade your cards, if you just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. If you want it in the plastic and you want to spend the money on the plastic, or if there's more value within that, or if you're selling and it makes it easier for you to sell or easier for you to get more value out of certain cards, just do the research beforehand. Don't feel like you need to grade everything. That's the biggest newbie mistake of anything that I see whatsoever is I got to grade everything. They grade stuff and then they end up losing a bunch of money, especially if their intention is to resell. So now, is everything going to be made right? We're going to take a look at one example here that was posted in the Discord by Guru in terms of what the payout looks like on this. This is going to get, it gets really, really unfortunate. I guess it's the most unfortunate for anyone that had sentimental cards. And that's the same thing, whether it doesn't matter what grading company you're sending to, it can get lost. It can get stolen in transit. If you use a middleman, that's one extra step. We'll take a look at some examples of that, I guess, coming up. Before we do, here's the Ace Grading website. Here's the official statement that they put out this morning. This is an official statement from Ace Grading. On the evening of Friday, December 13th, our offices were target of a professional theft. During this incident, certain cards belonging to some of our submitters were taken. This was not a random or opportunistic crime. It was a calculated and targeted attack. So, from Randolph's video, and I reached out to him, it sounds like this is somebody that knew what they were doing, knew what they were going after, knew that they wanted the Pokemon cards. The equipment wasn't stolen, expensive equipment that was within the building. They were going after the Pokemon card submissions. We had them spraying cameras. This is not one of those sketchy. Well, the video that was supposed to be today and will come out tomorrow, you'll see that somebody that was a little less professional than they were in this instance. So it sounds like somebody that was involved, somebody that knew what they were doing, knew where they were going. Hopefully the person, the vehicle, everything like that can be identified. And if there is more information, if you guys have information, first of all, please send it my way. Whether it's to do with the refunds, whether it's to do with the process, whether it's to do with if you have very identifiable cards, please send them my way and I'll make some posts. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll make a video. It depends what we have. But in the least, if you have missing cards, if you have pictures of those missing cards, please send them my way. If there's identifiable features to them, or if it's something really rare and special and identifiable, send it my way. I'll at least make some Instagram X posts and stuff like that. We'll get the word out that those cards are missing. Hopefully, it can be traced back to whoever stole these. Hopefully, everything can get returned to their rightful owners. Now, sentimental stuff. Also, the fact it's such a nightmare that the stuff is stolen before being graded. if it's graded, at least you might be able to comp. You might be able to say how much the card is worth. But if you just have submissions and they're raw cards at that point, I mean, most people are going to think that like, oh, I'm sending in all 10s. I don't know if there's even a best method for that in terms of if you're submitting cards to be able to put in on the expected grade, expected value, so that in an incident where stuff is stolen or lost, you get paid out on that amount. Now, is everyone just going to put the max dollar value? Probably. So maybe there's a workaround for that. To those affected, you will receive an immediate email detailing which of your items were taken, along with instructions on claiming compensation. We have already determined appropriate compensation amounts, and this will be issued without delay. So at this point in time, I'm not sure if you can debate or you can claim that you want more than what they are offering. But we are going to take a look at an example here, which I think is a little bit on the low side. But again, it's hard to tell what condition the cards are in if they are not yet graded. Like if somebody took the time and effort to sift through 1,000 copies of something and find the most perfect, pristine, always definitely going to be a 10 example. I mean, you probably should be if you're sending cards in for grading. But we all know that there are some damaged cards that do get submit. Whether it's some sentimental, whether somebody doesn't know what they're doing, whatever the case is. For submitters who were not affected, you will also receive an email confirming that your submissions remain safely within our grading process. In the light of this event, we have implemented additional robust security measures to further protect your property and maintain the integrity of our facility. We take these matters extremely seriously and remain committed to the trust you have placed in us. With your continued support, Ace Grading will remain a cornerstone of the card collecting community. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we work through this situation and ensure it does not happen again. Please contact us urgently if you know of any information that might help the police investigation that is actively being carried out. And if you have any information for me, I suggest you send that information. If you have important information that could lead to finding the perpetrator here, or even if you have personally been affected by this and you'd like people to be on the lookout for your cards, and hopefully have pictures, take pictures, take videos of your cards before you send them in. Also, if they happen to be damaged in transit, damaged by the grading company or whatever it is, you want to do that beforehand. Take a little video, take a little look before you send cards in, especially if they're valuable. This statement will continue to be updated as the situation develops. So here it is. Maybe I'll put a link to this down below as well in case there are any updates there. If there are significant updates or there's more information in terms of the investigation or information about the perpetrator or information, whatever it might be, if it warrants it, I will make a follow-up video. All right. Let's talk about middleman services real quick. We've seen it be a headache before. We had the one for Beckett that wasn't really a middleman, which is that was a pretty wild one. We had Graded Gem who lost PSA submissions, but then eventually decided they were going to partial compensate. It ends up being a mess. And then we had Dan's Pokestop that was making customer information susceptible to perpetrators, bad guys getting a hold of it, and then they tried to sweep it under the rug. It's just the less people can touch your cards, the better. And I know, Rattle, if I'm buying stuff, if I'm selling stuff, you gotta ship stuff at some point in time. But just if you can minimize the amount that you're shipping stuff, if you can minimize the amount of times that if you're shipping it to someone else, like a middleman, and that middleman is shipping it to someone else, or I guess recently with the incidents going on at GameStop, where the employees said there's no security measures in place. So you're trusting the GameStop guy to ship it off to somebody else. So there's an extra step there instead of just sending it yourself. Now, everyone's going to be like, oh, Rattle, but it's cheaper if I do it through GameStop, and sometimes it might be faster. Maybe. It wasn't. It got locked down because somebody was stealing some stuff. Now, also, at the same time, with the PSA membership, not a PSA shill. I have never sent a card to PSA. I don't want my cards in PSA slabs. I've cracked a billion of them. For people that are like, oh, Rattle, you don't know anything about grading. I've cracked a lot of slabs. Every single brand. All of them. Well, maybe not every brand. Not all the smaller ones. I haven't cracked an Ace slab yet. But regardless, look at the extra steps you're adding. Look at it. Be careful. Again, the more you just have your cards, the least amount of trips, it can be stolen anywhere. All right, we have one of the emails here. This is the one that Guru posted in the Discord general chat. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. If not, for the monitors, the Pokemon market is pretty stupid at the moment. So if you're looking to pick up some stuff for MSRP, maybe go in there while you're doing some other stuff. Click on some links. See if the restock notifications, if you can grab some of that sweet new product. And if not, just be extra patient. Now, we have the email here. We won't go through. It's just sadly your submission has been taken as part of this theft. All of the cards involved in the theft had not yet been processed into our system. We have carefully reviewed the cards listed in your submission and have determined their compensatory value. The cards listed. All right, so we have a little example here. We have the promos, the 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. I still don't have these. I should have picked them up when they were like $1 a piece, but I did not, and now we're going to pay for it. Before we get into the values here, you can see here they're offering $44.72 European dollarinis. Before we get into that, speaking of dollarinis, save some dollarinis by using the link tree. Bunch of discount codes, bunch of links you can click before that you're going to buy the things you're going to buy anyway to support the channel. Don't send me money. Click these instead before you shop. The stuff on here are places that I recommend, places that I reached out to. We got some discount codes. We got Troll and Toad, Securus Card Shop, Card Trader, Card Market, the Collector app for tracking your collection. That's a new one, new little sponsor there. Buy.ye, make sure you're on the old Buy.ye. If you haven't tried out Buy.ye, you got to be careful on there. Watch the Buy.ye videos, and if you're still confused, join the happy hour in the Discord on Saturdays, and I will walk you through how to use it, what to avoid, where to buy. If it's certain niche items, I might not have great advice on that, but I'm sure someone will figure it out. Someone will know. Discount codes, click before you shop. You get the drill. You know the drill. You guys have been absolutely killing it with that. It allows me to make the content that I make, spread awareness, call out scammers, all of that fun stuff. Here we go. All right, so these are kind of all over the place. They are pretty expensive, some of them. So we got like $8, $9. We got the old $21 for this one. I guess that's the OG. That's the OG hat. There. I guess that's why that one's more expensive. We have all the different eras of the Ash hats. I'm hating myself for not buying these when they were $1, even though, they're not like incredibly expensive. It's not like out of this world painful, but it's one of those things where looking little in hindsight, why didn't I buy these when they were super mega cheap to the extreme? Can't even remember what these were in, but they ended up getting put into like mystery products like crazy. Regardless, you can kind of see here with the expensive one, the offer might be a little bit low. Again, we don't know. I'd like to assume that everything was at least near mint here, which makes the 44 European dollarinos a little bit low on that end. I don't know if you can, if you have the ability to say like, hey, I want more than the claim value. These were mint. This is this is the near mint prices. You would think that the near mint price would be kind of the minimum. You shouldn't be sending light play or played cards into Ace. So let me know if you guys are having any headaches with that. Hopefully that all gets sorted out. This is going to be an absolute disaster mess for Ace and for the customers. It's going to be a pain in the butt. I can only imagine how much emails back and forth, how much is going on over there at the moment. I think Randolph had a bunch of projects. He was opening a Pokemon card store. He had a bunch of stuff going on at once. So it's going to be a little rough. It's going to be a step backwards, a step in the wrong direction. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for him. Extra unfortunate for the people that lost their cards. And hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. Hopefully we can get everything back to them. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Be on the lookout, and we'll see if we can't figure out who the perpetrator is. Thanks for tuning in. Look out for each other out there. Be careful. It's Christmas time and it's Pokemon Boom. There are a lot of grimy little fingers that want to grime your cards off. Be careful. Get some cameras. Lock everything up. Put everything in locations. If it's stuff that's incredibly expensive, you might want to look into security deposit boxes or something of that sort. But be careful. You never know who it's going to hit, how it's going to hit. If they can break into businesses and establishments that have bars on the windows, that have security cameras, that have security personnel in place, then they can break into your house or break into your storage facility or whatever you might have, all the same. Be careful. Look after your stuff. It's a shame that people are that bad, but that's what it comes down to. It's kind of sad.